Hello and welcome to the Jersey Shore Musicians Podcast. I'm Matt. That's Jeff.
Hello.
And tonight we got the guys from Vessels.
Golf clap.
Hello.
Clap.
Here we go.
You guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah. Let's go left to right, I guess. Hi, I'm Sean, and I do the hootin' and the hollerin' on the tracks.
Is that the technical term for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to say that on the EP, Hoots and Hollers.
Yeah, Carmine, drums.
William Endor, Bill, bass.
Endor?
Like the Ewoks?
Wait, you're from Lord of the Rings? Anyway.
And I'm Chuck. I play guitar.
All right. Well, welcome, guys. It's good to have you.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Man. Absolutely.
Guys,
First podcast as a band.
You find the place okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I made some dangerous traffic maneuvers.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
They like to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, I literally drove in reverse for like an entire block down Fisher.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I mean,
good.
that probably happens down here normally.
Yeah, which, I don't know, maybe someone listening to this doesn't know about Fisher. That's a bad idea. There's a lot of cars on that road.
All right. We like to start things off. How did you guys form as a band?
You wanna
Let's
take
hear
this
the
one,
story.
Carmine?
This is a long and winding tale, to be honest.
Well, Carmine and I have played together for almost the better part of 30 years in one band or another. So this was just probably our fourth band. And it just, I don't know, you were playing in Stagger already.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything. We figure it was 8 years ago, roughly. And I just started having some ideas and called Carmine up, asked if he wanted to jam. We got our old bass player, Chris, who was in our previous band, Face Down. We got him to play with us, too. And we just started jamming, and we tried having a singer. Didn't quite work out, so we just kept doing an instrumental trio. And that was how it was for quite a while. So that's how it started, though.
Yeah,
It was
and
just
that's-
us.
That's why I say I do the hootin' and the
was
hollering,
gonna
because
say,
the
how'd you get the
singer
hooter and
didn't
holler?
work out. So
Yeah.
No singing, just hooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Hollering.
But
Yeah.
that's a little bit of an interesting story, too, is how you came into the
Yeah.
fold, too. So
which I always enjoy talking about. So, like, how long ago was it? Like, at this point, like 5 or 6 years?
yeah.
Yeah. So they had a Craigslist ad out for a singer like 6 years ago, I think.
That's a gamble right there.
Yeah. And I at that point had not done bands or music in a very long time, and I think many musicians and people in local bands and stuff, you just give up a lot. You feel like, I'm done with this shit. So I was on like my fifth, I'm done with this shit. And then one day I was like, I'm not really doing anything. I'll go on the Craigslist and see if anyone wants to sing.
Maybe I'm not done with this shit.
Yeah. Keeps calling me back. And I went on there, and they were looking for a singer.
And a hollerer?
Yeah, a hollerer. And I liked the little the clip. I thought it sounded like Snapcasey or Quicksandy, Helmet-y. So I was into it. Yeah. And so we went there. I tried out, and I just basically over the course of like the next 5 years, I would jam with them once a year, and then something would happen where I wouldn't come back. Either there was a miscommunication, or Chris decided that he didn't like the way I sang, or just they decided to be instrumental again. And it was only a year ago that we were finally like, all right, you're the guy now.
So you've already tried out, like, I don't know, 4 times.
Yeah, well,
Once a year
our
for 4
bassist, our former bassist, Chris, was just not into what Sean was doing, and he just had something different in mind. And we were just going back and forth. We didn't want to come across as being flaky, but we were so happy with the music. We're like, we just need somebody who's going to really accent it and bring their own thing to it. But it's hard. We were already playing as a band for a few years. To bring vocals into it at that point seemed a little odd. So we just, the first time was I don't remember what the second time was, and then the third time was a charm.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know. It was literally like once a year, someone would hit me up and be like, "Hey, you want to jam again?"
It was me.
I'd be like,
it was me. Like, Sean, you want to go hang out? All right.
I'm like, I don't know. Can my heart take this again?
Oh, rejection.
Yeah,
Poor guy.
yeah.
So, all right, brings me to the next question, because the way that you guys are describing it. So then, define the style. Like, we're floating between instrumental and vocalist, or I'm sorry, hooting and hollering, and so there must be some kind of style thing that you guys are. So let's dive into that a little.
This is my favorite. I love to talk about this because, and maybe you guys know from being in bands, is people in a band do not know what genre of band they are whatsoever. Like people come at you from left field and say all kinds of shit. And you're like, I didn't think we were a Mariah Carey cover band, but
I was going to say Barry Manilow. That's pretty good.
yeah. Half the audience is saying it and they're wearing her shirts, so I guess it's true.
Yeah, the crooner vibe was definitely something we were going for.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. One of my customers heard us for the first time a couple weeks ago, and he said we sounded like the Jesus Lizard through a metal filter. So, I mean, again, it's like it's up to people's interpretations. I mean, there's definitely metal there. There's the noise rock element. There's like the post-hardcore element, like Sean said, with like Quicksand and Helmet and things like that. I mean,
You gotta be careful with the post-hardcore genre because the meaning of the word changes all the time.
Yeah, like
I believe right now it's screamy emo. I don't know.
Right.
It
When
used
we
to be
were-
Fugazi.
our what we thought post-hardcore was literally post-hardcore, like bands that were coming out of hardcore and making something new, you know, so that really appealed to us, Carmine and I, when we were younger. It was it was the 90s, and it was like that time when a lot of bands were really heavy rock bands were expanding their sound, but you know, thrash was still big then, but we were really into death metal too, so we were really like listening to Obituary all the time, but we were listening to Quicksand or Nirvana, things like that. So
Yeah, we just like wrote a song the way we just felt that day.
Yeah.
Whatever clicked, you know, it could be like it could be like a death metal riff or a hardcore riff or just a rock riff, or we would just jam on it and be like, hey, let's go with this and see what.
What genre do you think we are, Bill?
yeah, come on, Bill, throw it in there, man.
I think we're blues.
Thank you.
The man says,
I mean,
we're blues.
Gotta have the blues.
I am very sad.
We're a little sad. Yeah.
well, like you said, though, it's really open to, like, it's up to the interpretation of a lot of people, because like you guys have heard Useless. We played with you guys. We're like stoner, doomy, sludge.
Yeah.
And we played a show in LBI a couple weeks ago, and this chick wrote an article about it in the paper, in the sandpaper, and she's like, you could really hear the Rage Against the Machine in there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Wow.
Where?
I would not. That would be one of the. I would never put that.
Are you mad at the machine?
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit, but
So
mean,
they must shine through more than you think.
I guess.
but that's the thing.
But
There's
it's,
no.
it's their interpretation. You know, people
Yeah.
are going to hear what they want to hear.
No, for sure. For sure.
The funniest one was, and I think, I can't remember who said this, but I'm friends with this band Operants, and they literally sound like, oh God, now I'm going to say it, and if they ever listen to this, they'll probably make fun of me, whatever I say. But kind of like Wiry or like Gang of Four, like very just kind of like dancey
Post-punk.
post-punk kind of stuff. Or even like Waves, a little surfy. But anyway, someone came up to him after the show and said, you guys remind me of Motorhead.
So left field.
Right?
You nailed it.
Well, you just get a mustache and you're good to go, man.
Yeah. But hey, they were into it. They thought it was cool.
I mean, I guess if somebody calls out Motorhead in you, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Motorhead's
I
fucking
mean,
great.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
And
I'll take that as a compliment any day.
I think to circle back to the original thing when we were talking about us being instrumental and then bringing Sean in, what I heard when I heard his vocals was that it was in a different register. It was a little higher end, and I thought that would be a good, you know. I heard Fugazi in his voice. I heard
It gives a little more contrast.
right,
Yeah.
and I just thought it wouldn't be what typically people would expect, because we did have a kid who was like a screamer, and he was good. It just, I felt like it was going to become too one-dimensional.
Yeah.
So it just, that was my thing. But, you know, Chris was never into that kind of stuff. He couldn't really understand where I was coming from. Carmine even was like a little hesitant about it for a while too, you know, because we don't want
Let's
to take
be
anything
real.
away from
Let's be
him.
real, Carmine. You're still hesitant about it.
Carmine still changes his drum beats from 10 years ago. So he
guys-
obviously is a, you know.
You think guys would get would get more hits if like me and him start fighting now?
It's possible. Okay. So we're at the shot.
There's
Why-
some expensive
why don't
gear
you
in
Two
here.
hits in here.
Why do
next week for the Rumble of Rumble.
Why don't you like me, Carmine?
Your podcast became about backyard wrestling all of a sudden. Now
Those stones are going to hurt too. So,
break his back on this
so
table.
all right, out of the fighting now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I saw a couple. What was it, on Instagram? You guys were in a studio. Are you guys currently working on EP, album, single, something?
Yeah. Well, so yeah, we those pictures from the one we already released.
Okay.
How long did we release that? Like,
Well, I think
3
we
or 4
started
months
around
ago?
October of last
Yeah.
year recording because we were waiting for Pete Andrews from Submergent to reopen, because of COVID, and that's I think when we started. And it took us a couple months of going once a week to track, and we were really happy with the results.
I think we did 5 songs.
Yeah, we did 5 songs. Yep.
And it's out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's it out on that people can
Spotify, Apple.
Okay.
So yeah, we
Oh,
put
all the
2 of
digital
songs-
markets.
So you're making 7 cents every time everybody.
Yeah.
7 cents. That's generous.
I don't
shit,
think
they go
Beyonce's
down? I
getting
didn't
7
really-
cents.
We
No, she gets 12.
Spotify blowing with that 3/10 of a penny.
Yeah, exactly.
we put we did the single on Spotify. So there's a single and a B-side, so to speak, on Spotify and Apple Music and all that. And then the rest of it's on Bandcamp, where someone could maybe give us $5 for it. One purchase kills what we'd make on Spotify, and I think 3 people buy it.
People should always support Spotify, Bandcamp.
Everybody
feel
support
like
the
opening
machine. Sorry. Wait, my bad.
Well, Bandcamp's
the
also
owner-
doing when they do the Bandcamp Fridays, where
Yeah.
they don't take their cuts. And
Well, they were the only
that's
ones that stepped up during COVID.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
to help musicians out. I mean, I was really not that I was surprised, but I just felt like a lot of other corporations stepped up and tried to do something to help out people. But yeah, Spotify and Apple didn't do anything. But yeah,
because
Bandcamp's always been a good
nobody
way.
gives a shit about music anymore, man.
No, I know. It's
We talk about it on here all the time.
Yeah.
Especially you guys know how hard it is to get people to go to shows. Nobody
Yep.
cares anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
The older we're really spoiled because there's a lot of places that we could have potentially gone to shows. So we're like, oh, next time. But yeah, even playing in a band or us being spectators to go to a show, even how much do you have to be convinced to go to a show, But I don't know.
Yeah, and
It's a tough.
anywhere
stuff right
booking is usually booking cover bands or whatever. So
Yeah,
usually
unfortunately.
SOL. I mean, outside of Asbury and Red Bank, it's hard to get a gig in these here times.
Yeah, and especially right around here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We talked about it a couple times how, especially Ocean County itself lacks a real venue.
yeah.
Like
The
a,
only,
never-
if you go to even something in House of Independence of that level, there's nothing
Yeah,
around
nothing.
here.
Nothing.
If you're going to Asbury or Atlantic City.
Yep. Yep.
And
That's
even,
why.
Even Asbury though now is starting to get more cover bands.
Yeah, because
You know?
it's like they see money because
Yeah.
people will come in droves to hear other people
The
play.
Pony, Wonder Bar.
Yep.
I mean, all Thanksgiving Eve shows. There's not one original person. It's
Yep.
all covers. McLuhan's. That's
Yep.
another one. Those 3 right there are putting on the biggest. I think it's Brant Kirk and the Jerks, Eddie Testaban, and Joe Bonanno.
Or
Yeah.
you're watching tribute acts,
Yeah.
which I would rather do that than go to watch a cover band, honestly.
If it's the
But,
right tribute.
Yeah, that's true too. I've
Well,
seen tributes where I'm like, wow, what the fuck?
Tragedy was the best tribute band I ever heard in my life. I saw them play at House of Independence. I think they're from New York. They're
They're an ABBA band, right?
they're,
An ABBA
yeah,
tribute.
but
yeah,
they're a metal band. But they play
I opened
ABBA.
for them at the Lanes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
they're such good musicians. They have the sequined outfits on. They do some Neil. I think they even do Neil Diamond and the guy's got one of those operatic. But I mean they were awesome.
Yeah, they're very talented. Very
Yeah.
talented. Yeah.
But,
No, the only venue in like Tom's River I see consistently is the Log Cabin. That's more like Manchester.
Yeah, it's Pine Lake Park.
Yeah. There's some.
they do original bands there.
Yeah, it's literally just it's a log cabin and
It's more like a DIY kind of show.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Punk.
Brighton Bar guys?
No,
Or-
that's like Mike Ramirez and all them.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out to Poor Man,
Yep.
my boy Mike. Curiosities.
So when we wound up tracking when we were tracking these things with Pete, we were set up to do 4 songs, I think, and it was so. I gotta give a shout out to him. He was so comfortable in there. He made me feel so comfortable. I hate tracking because I'm my own worst critic, and it was just so comfortable. Then we just wind up tracking another song right away, and it was great. It was a good experience.
It's nice when that works out like that
Yeah.
because you build
Yeah.
yourself up to be
I
like,
don't,
oh,
I
I'm
don't
going
even
to
feel
fuck this
that
all up.
comfortable tracking at home.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's good. Now, did you guys do it kind of live-ish or to a click or keep just the bass and drums and then layer everything?
We did scratch tracks with Carmine, so Will and myself played along with him and got all the drum tracks, and I think we kept most of the bass tracks,
Yeah,
right?
we kept basically most of
Yeah.
the tracks.
Make
And then
it
after
feel
that,
like
we
it's
just
still
overdub.
together when you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, we've always done that.
Yeah.
You know, we've always played. Well, Carmine and I always
I know
tried to play
it's
live
probably
that way.
terrible thing to say, but I've never played with a click track, and I can't see playing with a click track just because a lot of our songs are not very steady like the whole way through. You know, it's not the same tempo, and it drops, and then you gotta tempo map it, and I just hear there's all kinds of like crap you need to do, and I'm like, let's just play the song and we play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It's half a dozen of one or the other.
Yeah.
I feel, you know,
I like
like
the human
Yeah.
element of it too, where so it doesn't sound like a machine.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we went in there with the plan to do 4, and then just sitting there like, we got time, do this other one, and then knocked it out. And I think we're getting ready to record again, because right now it's more about like we said, the Vessels, the band has been around for a while. I like to overestimate and say 10 years, but we were just talking before, it might be more like 8. But there's a lot of songs that have only either been recorded in instrumental format or never been recorded. And so that have been around a long ass time. So at this point, it's more like cataloging. You know, we knocked out 5. They have some other CDs before I was in there that are just instrumental. But, you know, we want to knock those out again with some vocals on them. So, yeah, I think our next round is we're going to record in Carmine's home setup, but then send it off to Pete at Submergent to do, like, the mixing.
Nice.
So
It's
that's-
also worth mentioning that Vessels is William's first band that he's ever been in, and
just calling him out. Noob.
This is true.
you had a trial run with us, and then you had to bow out for a little while, and then you ended up coming back.
This is also true.
Yeah, I was tattooing Will. That's how we got to know each other, and he was telling me all the time how he was playing guitar and he's got all this great gear and he's doing all these things, but he's never played with anybody. I said, dude, you're missing out on like the best part, I think, of playing in like being a musician is playing with other people. So finally, I convinced him to come jam with us, and it went great. But then you had some stuff you had to work on, so you bowed out, and then we got another bassist and a second guitarist. None of that worked out, and then Will came back into the fold, and it's just nice also to record, like, because we've had these songs for a while, to hear William just putting in his bass lines and everything and how different it sounds.
Putting his flavor on it.
Yeah, and they're still evolving. Some of these songs are as old as when the band started, and then to have Sean adding on top. When we recorded at Pete's, it was like just hearing everything so clearly. Because when you're at practice, I'm sure you as a vocalist, it's like the guys hear what you're doing, but they don't know exactly what you're doing, Then you record, and you're like, okay, now I hear it all. So
That's the line you're saying?
Yeah, this
Son
is,
of a bitch.
man, that is crap.
this is actually the first time I ever had a PA for practice with a band. None of my other ones ever knew what I sounded like till it was showtime or recording time. Just me
Surprise,
standing in a
surprise.
room yelling by myself. Punk rock.
Now, you guys are you're gonna catalog everything. Is there plans to put it out? Like, how you guys go about promoting yourselves? Whether it's a show, whether it's putting the music online.
We've been kind of making that up as we go along because of COVID and
I
everything.
mean, everybody's been doing that.
Yeah, we played one show since Sean's been in the band, and it was at the Brighton Bar when they were doing the outside shows, and it was like, and that was a year before the show we just did at Dingbat. So like, we've just been like, we have a show, we put it up on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, and But I mean, we're talking about making physical releases, but again, since we're not really playing shows, is it worth making records? Is it better to make CDs? How many people buy CDs right now? It's so hard to
See,
not have
everything
the
I'm
physical
saying is
media.
you go digital and then you do like a limited, like a almost like a pre-order on a vinyl.
Yeah, a lot of bands do that now.
And that's
Yeah.
really it. You keep it digital and you do a pre-order on the vinyl. That way you're only pressing what you need. And you
Yep.
can,
Yeah.
I see people doing everything with pre-order now. Even like other tattooers I know, when they want to make art, they'll do a pre-order before they even make it because they just don't want to have them sitting around. You
Yeah.
know? And we've made a lot of CDs in the past, and it's just.
I mean,
like,
CDs, it's dead. They're not a factor anymore.
yeah, it's like
It's good for a promotional tool.
Oh
If
yeah,
people
but you
have
were saying
CD
even brand new
players.
cars, they don't come with CD players anymore.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
you got to pay extra if you want one now.
It's so hard. And vinyl has a long wait list now. It's like
Yeah.
a year or more now to get vinyl made.
Yep.
And plus, like, so
Plus,
expensive.
it's because it's making such a huge comeback right now.
It is. There still isn't. They're not like new plants aren't opening up yet. They're still working with the same probably 3 or 4 in the world that have been around. That ones that survived.
Yeah.
Like I think there's only one in America that I know of. I mean, I know they make them in like the Czech Republic and I don't know where Pirates Press makes theirs. I know a lot of people make records through them. I don't know if they're a middleman or if they actually press the vinyl themselves. But we were looking at going through them because a lot of underground bands go through Pirates Press.
I feel like almost everything is like you order through a company and this isn't just records; it's everything. You order through a company, but somewhere down the line, there's a factory in China and they're making it. And, you know, because Americans don't make anything, literally nothing.
Yeah, very little nowadays.
We just order things from other countries and then slap our logo on it and say we are creators.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we thought of it, they just made it.
Yeah, for us, I think for all of us, I think our age group, there's something about buying something.
Yeah.
And I agree. I feel the same way.
That's
But
why I want vinyl.
the younger generation doesn't give a shit about that. They want to click a button, have it on their phone, and beep.
It
Next.
doesn't even sound as good.
Yeah.
Well, from your phone when you Bluetooth, it sounds terrible compared to the record.
And that's sad. We've gotten used to that.
I know.
Because it's so convenient.
Yeah.
You know.
And I mean, I understand that because when that all started coming out, like when iPods became the big thing, like I was living kind of a nomadic lifestyle, and I did not want to have anything with me anymore. You know, my binders of CDs, moving to a new apartment every like 6 months or whatever. I'm like, I don't want this shit anymore, and moving all over the place. So it was great when it was digitized, and I could have my whole music collection, more music than I ever dreamed of, and not have to lug around all this shit, which was just impossible at one point. But yeah, now that I've come around to like, you know, I'm staying in one place forever and I've actually started a vinyl collection, yeah, give me some physical stuff.
Well, it's like the kids nowadays, they'll never understand what it's like to go when you had to wait outside of a CD store for a midnight release on an album, you know?
Or like if you really wanted something, like I remember when Against All Authority, All Fall Down came out, I heard that in someone's car. I'm like, I fucking need this album. And then I had to like shop around every mall in, you know, like 3 counties around to find it. I had to get my mom to drive me to like the Freehold Mall where the Hot Topic had 1 copy, you know?
Which is sad that's how a lot of kids would have to buy vinyl if they wanted to, or if maybe it's just still people our own age that go buy it. But like Barnes & Noble has a lot of vinyl now. You know, it's weird because like Hot Topic got rid of their vinyl, but now, you know, you can buy it at Barnes & Noble.
You can go to Urban Outfitters and buy some like Lana Del Rey.
Yeah.
Vessels is going to be an Urban Outfitter someday. Mark it down.
We just got to make that cover look slick, though.
How we're going to get in there is we're going to make it, and I'm going to put it on the rack when no one's looking and run away.
Yeah, guerrilla style.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been watching that Wu-Tang show, and they did some pretty crazy shit to get their records in people's hands. It was like respect. They did not care. It was guerrilla warfare, you know.
Oh, man. So, future plans for you guys. Let's go a year or two. What are you thinking?
I mean, it'd be great to, you know, keep recording, not just wait like once a year, keep doing, you know, whatever we feel like doing, and still playing shows, but, you know, we've never really played a lot of shows.
Playing shows more consistent.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So I definitely think, you know, we're on this next wave of recording stuff that's going to hit soon. And once that's out, now I think I learned a little bit of a lesson from our last release, which was if you just drop the whole enchilada all at once, you have some excitement for like a week, and then people just stop giving a shit. You got to string this stuff along. You got to get your 5, and you got to put out like a single like every 2 months, and then the big release at the end. Now you've taken your small amount of material and stretched it out into months of content. That's the word, right? The content.
Yeah, yep.
You know, you gotta stretch out your content and make it count. So definitely the next batch, I want to be doing something consistently because, you know, right now we're very stop and start. We do a lot of stuff all at once, and it's quiet for a while on the last stuff because we're all busy people doing a lot of things.
Yeah, life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, and like you said, the shows are it's very inconsistent just finding places to play where you're not playing the same place over and over again.
Oh yeah,
like, you
100%.
know, until we played with you, I wasn't familiar with your band. Carmine was, so I was like, I didn't even know how long you guys had been around, how many shows you've played. You know, it's always great to meet more, you know, local bands and just feel like, oh, we would definitely play with them again, even if it's just having the variety. I think that's another thing. We'd like to just keep playing shows and play with different bands, you know, and play with different styles of music. You know,
I also think within a year we will write a new song. It's gonna happen.
We have a few new songs.
Throughout the year, Chuck and I have had the situation where we were in a band and we wrote some good stuff, and it was like, man, I wish we tracked that. I wish we had that somewhere, and I forgot how that song went.
Yeah, or it got
You know what I
lost
mean?
somehow. Or
You can't like just to record it and have it so you should just go back and go, oh yeah, that actually was a pretty decent song or whatever,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, because
Remember the time when you wrote it, where you were, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
And we lost a lot of that, you know, through the years. And he
Yeah.
said, he goes, dude, I don't ever want to do that again.
You know, well, like
Yeah.
you guys know Jesse Shar from Second Skin, right? He jams with us on one of our side projects, and all the time I'll just have my phone in the corner just recording video because they always say shit. I'm like, but dude, I'm like, you never know. I have some stuff on there where like I'll play it back on a video like 3 months later, and we're like,
Yeah.
oh,
Right.
I remember that.
that just happened to us the last
Yeah.
couple weeks. We just started jamming.
I
and it was
record
like,
everything,
We never
man.
recorded it, and it was like I can try to remember it, but like maybe he didn't remember what he was doing, or you know whatever, and it's not never the same unless you have
Yeah.
some real.
I probably have like 300 videos on my phone of just me with an acoustic guitar playing riffs and
Yeah, but then it turns into like you have so much that and then you never look at any of it.
Yeah, it could be overwhelming.
yeah.
at the
But then you
same
might
time,
you might
but-
just
yeah,
scroll
yeah.
through, find that one, and then
Yeah.
it hits your brain, and you just start running with it.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
I still remember in
Yeah.
another band we recorded a jam, and the drummer did a very particular thing on the cymbal, and we're all really digging it. And then like a month later, we're like, all right, that song we jammed on for, let's like finish this. And so we're doing it. We're like, this is good, but it's not as good as I remember it being. And I kept staring at the drummer and being like, you were doing something different. And he was like, no, man, this is exactly what I was doing. And then I finally pulled it up, and he didn't want to do it because he thought it was like a rip off of some Rush song or something. But we all, as a collective, said, you're playing that cymbal the exact way you did it because it's awesome. No, it's a Rush song. It's okay. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we talked about like doing a couple covers, which is something we've never done. That's another thing that's on the agenda too.
Okay.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I proposed the idea of doing like a couple old Nirvana songs, like from like Bleach, because they're heavy, you know, and they're, you know, I just thought maybe we could put a cool stamp on them.
Yeah.
I wanted to do Snapcase Harrison Bergeron just because I always wanted to do Snapcase.
Still
Harrison
do it.
Bergeron.
We could still do it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We're doing
I
it.
love Nirvana.
We're doing it tomorrow.
I mean, it works if you do it well. Like with Useless, it always goes over well. We do Bill Withers. Ain't no sunshine. People see us and they don't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
I thought it worked really well.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
It sounds
good.
good. And I think we do it justice, and everybody's
Yeah.
always like, "That was, we did not see that coming, but that was awesome." And it just that's how you connect with people.
Yeah, and I mean covers are obviously all covers no good to me
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah,
but
but sometimes you gotta get that hook in there
Yes.
before you really
Yes.
set it. You know?
yeah, like
It's
and
something
that
people will remember you by, and it's
Yeah.
hard. It's you want to stand out. I mean, it's
definitely come around to like having probably like 2 in a set because you people don't know, the majority of people who see you aren't going to know who you are,
Yeah.
or your songs, and really what people want to hear is songs they know. It's just how it is. So you know, you throw out something they do know and then follow it up with your big one that you want them to know. It's like priming them. So
It goes back to they don't care.
yep.
And there's no such thing as an attention span anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like one song, if you don't have them hooked on that one song, they're on to the next.
This first chord is boring.
yeah, man. That second one better be
Yeah.
good.
But you guys know, when playing shows, like a lot of times, like people show up for the band they came to see,
Yeah.
and they might stick around for that one song for the next band. And if you don't hook them right away, they're right out the door.
Yeah.
For sure.
You know, you
I've
got-
done it too. I mean,
yeah.
I like to go and stay for the whole show, but there's.
Oh yeah.
Well, even like our Dingbat show. I mean, that show went late, and I wanted to see all the bands, but man, it was thinking about that hour and hour plus drive home. You guys obviously were driving even further, and I was like, "This is rough, man. This is rough to stick around."
I just played there the other day, and it was like I said, I left there at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Well, I think this comes back around to like the general public is not going to give a shit. So you know,
find
other musicians are the ones that have to give a shit. You know,
And that's
Like-
the problem. A lot of them don't. If it doesn't,
Yeah.
directly affect them, they can
Yeah.
give 2 shits too.
But that's I don't know. That's something I've been taking like very seriously lately. Like I try to go to at least one local show a week. I stay for the whole thing. I talk to everybody. You know, I give them stickers, and I have a little like playlist I made that's just New Jersey local bands. Try to get people to follow it. It's got 20 followers. It's blowing up.
hey, I mean, every bit counts. You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
You
That's
could
20
just
more
turn
people
someone-
that I probably know that would actually listen to a local
Hey,
band.
it got my track 19 more listens, so it worked out,
There
I
you
guess,
go.
a little
Yeah.
bit. But no, it's very much, and it's also, you know, it's easy to say, hey, like no one gives a shit, so like why would I give a shit? But you know, everyone's
won't
got to
stop
push.
us.
Everyone's got to push through and do their small part, and hopefully someone else follows the example. You know, that's how the scenes are made and the community and all that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When you're trying to be part of the, like, if you're considered part of the underground, anything really, it's like the people are passionate. There might not be a lot of them, but at least they're passionate about it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why it's cool that you guys are doing something like this. Like, this is a great example of that. You guys are in bands, and you're here boosting up other bands.
We just like talking. We just like talking music to people, man. That's really it.
Yeah. Like I'm lucky with my job. I get to talk to people all day and hear what they're up to. But I've learned so much about what other people do just by having a conversation. That's why podcasts are awesome.
Yeah, but it's a lot of it goes back to also is everybody has so much accessibility to everything at the tip of their fingers.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not making that instant impression on them, that's like they just swipe, and they're 4 bands down by the time they even think about giving a shit about you.
Yeah,
get that connection.
And I mean, the other part is there's definitely I don't know if it's a stigma, but it's like a mental thing where and everybody does it. We all listen to the bigger bands, even like moderately like in the scene, we're all listening to like bigger hardcore bands. It's like pretty rare for people to be like, oh yeah, I listen to nothing but like local music, like 75% local music or even like unsigned,
It should be a
it's
mix,
pretty
though,
rare.
'Cause there's always somebody new out there to discover. Some people just don't care, I mean, enough to like, they'll just stick with what they like. But
Yeah, and it's also
I don't know. I'm stubborn. I always look for new things because it might just feature somebody that was in another band that I liked.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been reading Decibel probably since it started, and it was like that's my main reason for doing it is because like they're always reviewing bands, they're always talking about new things that are coming out, and it just keeps me inspired. I think to keep doing it because like you said, sometimes you feel like why am I doing this? Like I like doing it, but you want to know that somebody cares out there, so.
So we started doing this, and then we also have an idea of down the line we want to start bringing in like a guitar player from this band, a bass player from that band, drummer from over there, singer from over here, just throwing them in a room and say you guys got 3 hours to write a song.
That's a cool idea.
And just see what happens.
Yeah.
Bring all different genres, different backgrounds, and just throw them in a room.
That's a hell of an idea.
See what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
That could get very MTV too. It get dramatic.
It could.
You get the right mix.
You never know. You get the right
mix
mix of people. It could turn out freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Start this band. That's it.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's a great idea, though.
Yeah.
Don't steal it. No, just kidding.
I can't wait to see.
It'll bring that sense of community back. You know,
yeah.
'Cause that's what's missing today. Is like there's certain bands like we're all friendly. Like we hang out at shows together. But there's a lot of bands that show up, play the show, sit in the corner, watch a couple bands, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've always tried to fight against that, even with like the people that are in the band that we're playing with. We just always did that when we were young. It's just nobody said to do it. It just seemed to make sense.
Except me growing up, it was always you were there from start to finish. You hang out with the bands, you hang out with the fans. Everybody hung out. You'd even hang outside of shows. You meet somebody in other bands, and you'd be like, "Oh, you guys want to go grab a beer? We'll go."
And you think that like Instagram and stuff would help with that, but sometimes I feel like it makes us more disconnected because we don't know what to latch onto. But like if you're physically in a room with people or something, it's like you will talk to somebody eventually.
But it's even that you have so much at your fingertips. Like you feel like you're involved. Like you see the pictures and you know what's going on in their life, but you haven't seen them in a year.
Yeah.
But you don't think about that because you see them on your phone all the time.
You're clicking like you're retweeting or whatever, but that's not actual participation. It's the illusion of participation. And also, it's one of those things. Just like everybody having a voice, like a platform, means that it's hard to pick any voice out because everybody's screaming all at once.
It's so saturated you can't focus.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's hard to find that thing that it's all. Honestly, I'd say it's almost worse than how it was before the stuff because. I don't know, at least you could hand out flyers and maybe that would make a dent because people weren't being inundated with stuff like a flyer. This is interesting.
We made flyers for one of the shows we played over the summer and people were like, what's this? I'm like, it's a flyer for the show.
Wild.
Like, this is a lost art. We still do this.
I used to love making flyers. We would go to Kinko's and make copies. But then it would be funny because we'd go to Kinko's and make flyers and Jacko from the Brighton, who was, I don't know, 20 years older than us, is there making flyers too. So it's like, because he's an old punk rocker. He's like, that's what he did. He was too stubborn to have somebody else do it for him. So he'd be there gluing pieces of paper, making it old school style. We're like, look, Jacko's still doing it. We got to keep doing it.
Yeah, I went to see Kirkby Kiss playing in Smithville, which was hilarious. Like, it's cute little Smithville with their little shops, and then you have like hardcore punk band playing in the gazebo in the middle. Just like, whoa! And someone in a "Don't Tread on Me" shirt got really upset and got the show shut down. Honestly, that is the thing that happened. But Jay from Stomp Out
There's
Abuse.
always somebody that ruins it.
Yeah,
Always somebody.
Jay from Stomp Out Abuse, because I was playing another show with them later, like 2 weeks down the line. Just walks up to me and hands me a stack of paper. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "Flyers for your show. You got to hand them all out." And I'm like, I haven't done this in like 20 years, man. I don't think I've handed out a flyer. But, you know, Jay's an intimidating guy. And when he says to do that, I went out and did it.
He's a great dude. I mean him.
Nah, he's great. I love
We
that
grew
guy.
up together.
Love
I've
that
known
guy.
him for a long time.
Yeah. No, he's always cool, but I just mean, you know, you got the guy with the middle finger tattooed on his head, like, you're gonna hand out the flyers, right? I'm like, I got your back, Jay. I'm gonna hand out the
Doing
flyers.
it right now.
Smile while I do it.
Mister, don't tread on me. Here's a fly to our show.
Yeah, we played a couple shows for him at when they did a couple in Hebrew Park and Lacey. They were always fun. They had the grills going, bands
Yeah.
playing all day
Awesome.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good times. Good times. All right.
That's all for you now.
Anything you guys want to talk about? You want to bring up?
Well, I was just going to say about the Dingbat show again. It's just that being the first show we've been back to, you know, in a while. And, like, it was that I was reminded of why I liked going to shows when I was younger and going and not knowing who all the bands, what they sounded like. And I think just walking in there and knowing that, like, obviously it's us and Stagger and some of the bands I was familiar with, but I had heard you guys, and I love that, you know, that stoner sludge, whatever genre. So it's like, to hear you guys was like, oh, it was a genuine enjoyment of hearing a new band that I didn't know about. So it was like, it was just a reminder of like, it is fun to go to shows. You know?
Yeah, because you never know. You
never
might
know.
find that diamond in the rough that you like. You just
Yeah.
like Saturday night we played at Dingbats and this band, what the fuck was their name? Hidden Sixes. They're from Nashville.
Hidden Sixes.
So, yeah, Hidden
Great
Sixes.
name.
And they showed up and they get on stage and we're like, what? They got like the djembes and all sorts of stuff. And they're like, half our band couldn't make it, so we're just gonna do what we can. And they played with an acoustic guitar. And this is like a straight up metal band. And they played with an acoustic guitar, a drummer, and the singer. And that was it. And they were doing all these weird like drum circles, and
Yeah.
it was really cool. And I
Wow.
was like, I really liked them. So I looked them up this morning, and then I heard what they really sound like with their whole band. And I was like, these guys are fucking amazing.
It's so crazy that they went in a totally different direction just to jam.
Oh yeah,
You know?
yeah. They're on tour, just the three of them.
Yeah.
And then the drummer was like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I told my buddy, I'm like, that guy looks like a jazz drummer hiding in a hardcore band. And then I talked to him outside. He goes, I've never played rock and roll before in my life. He goes, I'm a swing drummer, and they recruited me 2 hours before they took off for the tour.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Because I've
He's just
never,
gonna make it
because
as it
I've
goes
never
along.
played with these guys before 2 days ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I picked that one right out too.
No, that's inspiring. You know, that makes me wonder. It's like,
But
you know,
even now, I find in bands, I'm like, man, like I really dig them. They were cool.
no, yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's like you hear stuff like that, and it's like, why can't I go on tour? Been these bands forever with all these established people, and then there's other guys going out. It's like, yeah, we just picked up a drummer off the side of the street, and like 3 guys couldn't go, and we said, fuck it, we'll just go anyway.
Yeah, and a lot of
Tour.
bands would have been like, well, we're not going on
And on the
tour.
way here, they
We're
played
not
like
the
they
rest of
played
the
they
band.
played Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania. Then here they played in Brooklyn last night, and I'm
Wow.
like, yeah,
That's awesome.
Just gotta, hope you're gonna, turn a few heads and make some money to go to the next show. I mean, right now, God, I mean, touring is so inconsistent for established bands. I can only imagine what it's like for like a newcomer
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Bands are doing short.
there's no
runs.
money in it.
Oh no, no.
You got to sell T-shirts. You got to sell merch.
Yeah, it's merch.
Yeah. T-shirt salesmen. That's what we are. That's what somebody in
T-shirt
some
salesman.
band said. Oh, like congratulations, you're now a T-shirt salesman. Meaning now you're going on tour with your band. But
Yeah.
it's like merch is the way to make money.
It's you don't write the songs for the art. You write the songs because they're a pitch for the shirt.
Yeah, because like Carmine said, you can leave the show with a tangible thing.
Well, Carmine's the
You
king
know.
of merchandise.
Yeah, I'm the king of merch.
What-
I
Yeah.
I'll bump up my
Oh,
anything.
oh yeah.
See Stagger's table. We get fucking skateboards.
Every time I play the show with you, I see you walking in. You got like a table. You got like all these boxes and shit.
Yeah.
First thing you do is set up all the shit.
Yeah.
Well, now
I
it's
started
double.
doing that with these guys too.
Yeah.
It's like I started making shirts at home. So I'm like, it's actually probably cheaper to pay somebody else to do it because they get everything in such bulk.
and it's a
I'm
time
like,
investment too.
whatever, I'll just go in my basement and fucking make some t-shirts. So I got a kit and I started doing it. And
we do have a lot of cool ideas for merch. I feel like I'm always come up with more ideas. It's just a matter of like making it right now if we're not playing shows, but we will definitely.
Well,
That's
it's always-
The best merch we ever had was beer koozies, man. Those things we sold them for like $3 a pop, bro. We sold like 400 of them in like 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And knowing your audience. I mean, did you guys play at Manafurkin?
Yeah, we
That's
played
amazing.
there a couple times.
I would love
yeah.
to play at brewery.
They actually the only we played at Bird and Betty's on LBI, and we were sitting there, and I'm setting up, and the guy I feel a tap on my shoulder. I turn around, it's the owner of Manafurkin. He's like, dude, I came here just for you.
Wow.
I was like, that's awesome. He's like, yeah, it's like next time we're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill it. I'm like, you let me know. I'll be there.
Wow.
I
That's
went
cool.
to Manafurkin, like actually, because I was just going out like scouting out places to play possibly, and I knew they had bands there every now and then. But when I looked at that place, I'm like, I don't even know where a band would play in here.
Outside.
It's out. Okay,
Outside.
yeah, so now it's too cold.
They have like a little deck in the back area where they
Yeah.
have the little beer garden.
Do the
Inside
do the
small.
doors go up? Like it's like garage door kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
for
might
the
be
main
thinking of the
dining
wrong
area.
place.
Yeah, but like when you're looking at the building off on the left, back by the woods,
Yeah.
there's a whole little like beer garden outside
Okay.
area. Yeah,
Oh, sweet.
and they got like a little deck built in the corner for the bands to set up on.
Oh, sweet! It's like a little stage.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
Well,
they're good
Yeah,
people
it's
over
not
there.
bands make money anymore. It's just merch. But you gotta spend it to make it, and hopefully make it. So I mean, that's an investment too.
Yeah, see, but where I know where I'm at in the game, and like with Useless, like we're not in it for making money, bro. We just do it because it's what we've done for
We love
20,
to do it.
20, 30 years. You know, it's
Yeah.
just what we
Yeah.
do. We do it because we love it. That's,
Yeah,
and that's it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It costs us money.
Of
It probably does. But most hobbies do. I mean, if you're like, there's a lot of things you do that you're not really looking for a financial return, but I don't know. How long have you guys been a band?
Useless formed in 08.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we took like 4 years off in the middle due to personal differences, but
Personal differences, yes.
but we've been back together for about 3.5 years, 4 years somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about that.
Yeah, and
I
hey,
seen you guys playing the gym. I'm like, they're still together. I thought they had broken up or something. And I was like, maybe
We
they
did.
just kind of took a break. For a while.
You were right.
You're right.
Took a break for a while. I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot of bands do that.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
just kind of separated for a little while, let everything cool off, and then cooler held,
Yeah.
prevailed, and
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
now you and you guys, you have to say, Ben, because you have the ultimate sticker connection.
oh yeah,
So-
Ian, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that he was in your band. I
Oh,
started
speaking of
following
that,
him on
where's the
Instagram,
paper?
and I was like, oh, wait, he's in the band? Like, how cool is that?
Where's
You know?
The paper?
The paper.
There's a paper?
Here it is.
Okay, baby.
Speaking of Ian and his sticker company, one of you gentlemen can read that because he is a sponsor of the podcast.
Oh, nice.
The power of Sticker Jesus compels you. Full color, waterproof, and UV resistant decals printed for your art, business, club, or anything you want to promote. DM his ass holiness on Instagram at Stuck Up Sticker Company or email him at stuckupstickercompany@gmail.com to start your order today. Remember, Stuck Up is your source for signs, stickers, banners, and way more.
And if you mention the Jersey Shore Musicians podcast, you will get 10% off your first order.
It's really nice of them.
It is.
Yeah, I would like to pitch my experience with Mr. Sticker Jesus. He made stickers for my other band, Meteor Police.
That features William as
Yes, that
well.
also features Bill. Yep. And you want to know what? He will also at some point make stickers for vessels because
Just because.
yeah.
He's pretty good at it, yeah.
Yeah, he makes good stickers.
Yeah, I love seeing the stuff he makes.
I hit him up. He had it done a week later. It was way cheaper than I thought it was going to be. And I drove to his house to pick him up, and his driveway is very steep, and my car is very low, and I scraped the front of my car. So, if you're going to
Park in the street next time.
parking one part, if you have a low car like in a dummy like me, do not park in his driveway. Just park in front. The garage is right there. It's easy.
Or have him send them.
Or he'll send them. He'll send them. It's fine.
See, stickers, that's another lost art. You know, like not a lot of,
Yeah.
I'm not even lying. We have like 400 stickers.
Yeah.
Like different.
Oh, I know. I received
Like,
one of every single one.
Crazy amounts.
Whoa.
Oh, that's the other thing of
he just gets bored and photoshops us into things and
Right.
makes some
Remember when-
absurd sticker about it.
Like, remember when, like, buying a sticker pack was, like, a thing where you
Yeah.
could be, like, I even thought of doing it for my own art, just being, like, sell them for $5 and have, like, 5 stickers in it or something like that. But, like, so many of us are used to just getting them for free, unless it's, like, a big, the big-ass bumper stickers that used to be a thing.
One of our most popular was about that. It's about that big. It's just a Target, and it said "piss here," and we used to stick them in the urinals, and it just said "useless" across the middle of it.
Nice.
I like the Jack Daniels
Into it.
one.
The what?
Jack Daniels bottle one.
The Jack Daniels
Yeah,
one,
that's a
yeah.
good one.
That was good.
I mean, the option, the ideas are limitless.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing is when you see him, he gives you like every sticker he's ever made.
He designed our logo for us.
Yeah. Oh,
That's rad.
Yeah. But so like I came away from just getting my stickers with so many stickers I could cover my house in them.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of freebies.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
All of my cases have a useless sticker on them.
That's the way it should be.
And a picture of a pinup girl. Because, they're in there too.
That's Ian too. All right. Well, our final question, I want an answer from each one of you.
All right, Bill, you got to talk this time.
I'll try.
All right. If there's one thing you could change about the music scene, what would it be and why? One singular thing. And don't worry, this one always stumps everybody.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You can just go say burn it
Because
all
you'll get
down.
like 50 things, but you can only pick one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think because we were talking about it earlier, I just wish that Spotify would
Pay people?
compensate bands better.
Yeah, but that's not the scene. That's just like the big 800-pound gorilla that we all.
Yeah, I
ask
don't know.
approval for.
That's just what I always think about because of all the work
'cause-
that bands
yeah.
put in, and they could have thousands of followers on Spotify, but yet they could have all these streams and they're not making shit from it.
3/10 of a penny.
That's
3/10
it,
of a penny.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
hey, if
the
you're a major
owners-
label artist, you sign a special contract with them, you'll get a whole penny.
Yeah.
You know how to stack that kind of money?
Yeah. Shit. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of.
I don't know. I just wish that like music wasn't so clicky. Like I get there's like scenes and stuff, but like there shouldn't be like I don't know like limits to a scene or like who. Like sometimes like there's certain scenes like even like the death metal scene is very specific and it's like one way.
Yep.
But I think you should be able to venture out. Like there could be like no matter who you are, what you do, or what you go home to, you can enjoy music. You don't have to like stick to like you don't have to be like the image of what the scene is. And sometimes scenes are too clicky. Like the straight edge scene used to be like.
Yeah.
Really awful in some ways, and it shouldn't. That's what music shouldn't be about. That should be everybody getting.
It should be
together,
about the music.
having a good time. We're just here for one thing and one thing only, and it's music. And it's to have a good time and for the music.
Back in the Stone Pony matinee days and the cafe bar days, you'd see, Human Remains, and then you'd see like a ska band on
Yeah.
the same bill,
Yeah.
and everything in between.
And
But
we
it
loved
worked.
it all.
And it was
We would go to
awesome.
every
Yeah.
show.
And every band was different, and you stayed for all the bands, and it's
Yeah.
it was just one group. It wasn't like
It was just because that's when people loved music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, like we say it all the time, now music is nothing but like just background noise and elevator music. Like nobody has that love and passion for music. Like our generation is that last generation that really
Yeah.
is passionate about it.
All
you
we can
know?
hope is that it swings back someday. I don't know.
It's always
I'll
ebbs and
I'll hang
flows.
out with so many people, and like I'll be listening to music with them, and they just like won't even finish a song.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
And it's just, but it's like continuously. They'll make it halfway through a song and skip to the next song. It's just like a cycle of skipping to the next song. Like,
Because there's so much accessibility to so much. You just like, you hear a part and you're like, oh, that makes me think about that one. And then,
Yeah.
oh, that one. What about this one? And then you just keep jumping and
Too
jumping
many
and jumping.
options.
I think if I could change something, it would be more of what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? With helping bands out and promoting them and just more networking. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, 100%. Yeah. Because I've even had people say to me, like, well, like, you guys getting paid for this? I'm like, no, we just do this because we like it. We don't get shit for this.
When we started the Metal Fest, it was that's what we did it for. I mean, it was a little bit of I kind of wanted to see these bands, and get them all together. But it was basically networking between all the bands from different states, videographers, photographers, things like that. For everyone to just kind of talk about
Networking.
something to do with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You can only bitch about it so long. If you're not doing anything about it, like you can say, like, if you just sat and bitched all the time about how there wasn't a podcast where people just talked to musicians, you guys just went ahead and did it. You could have just kept on bitching about it and saying no, but you were like, no, we're going to do this thing. That's like you guys want to do the Metal Fest. It's like we all have an opportunity to really do something, and it could be something small or something big. It's like making stickers or doing a podcast or doing the Metal Fest. Like we all have an option, or just being in a band, and networking with other bands. I think that networking has always got to be a thing, because again, if there's no money to be made, the only thing you have left is the connection to other creative people. That's all you have left.
Well, to me, that's the best part of being in a band is like the camaraderie of being in a band with your, like with your brothers that you play with all the time, and then you know the camaraderie with all the other bands, and you know like when you get a show where everybody knows each other and all the bands are hanging out, and you know you're just partying all night long. That's the best.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want it to end. You know.
So yeah, I guess playing off of the talk, all talking about community and stuff. To me, my biggest pet peeve is just lack of responsiveness from people, especially from, and I guess this part of the scene is the people who run the venues, the people who are the gatekeepers for who's going to play. And you can email them, you can go and try to see them in person, you can send them Instagram messages, and 90% of them just won't respond. They'll just ignore you.
Sometimes it's timing, or just
because I don't
the
know,
right person.
Yeah, I just know I know that I have to go and talk face to face with people if I want to get shows in new venues. So really, and it's also like I've set up shows and I'm trying to get bands on the bill and they just don't respond to their Instagrams or whatever, like all their contact info. So I just a general.
How can we reach you? Here's all our things. Okay,
I'm trying to give you a gig
answer.
at a good place. Like,
But that's more you want people just to be accountable.
Yeah,
you know.
Like if people want to participate, then participate. Like go all in, try.
Do you know how many times I've had the Metal Fest go on, and I'm printing event shirts where it's like the thing in the front, and then there's all the band logos are on the back, and then these motherfuckers call like the day of or the day before, be like, yeah, we can't make it, and I'm going, no, we booked this a year out, bro. What do you know? It's unacceptable.
Did your band break up?
And
yes. Well, you're playing anyway.
Stupid. Yeah. I remember one show we did. It was 2 bands weren't gonna make it, and I just wasn't having it. And they actually wind up coming. Because it wasn't a good enough excuse, and then having to change, bands, shit happens. I get that, but
but you put so much effort into making that day happen, and for them to bail out at the last second.
We want to play shows, so why would you come up with some bullshit excuse not to play a metal fest?
We didn't sell enough tickets or whatever, and it's not about that. You know what I mean? When we make tickets and stuff, it's just easier for me to keep track of.
Yeah,
I don't like to sell tickets personally, but just whenever all the bands come in, there's a lot of them, just individual envelopes with tickets in it just makes it easier for me to mentally handle it. You know what I mean? So, we didn't sell any tickets. It doesn't really matter. Just come and play. It's not about that.
I'm glad you had that attitude because we all know there's people like, wait, you didn't hit your 20-minute or your 20-ticket quota?
Well, see, that question I just asked you, one of the first answers we got for that was pay to play.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
If anything, get rid of pay to play.
Yeah.
Because
ridiculous.
And we've also talked to other people who have toured all over. But it's a Northeast region thing. Like once you get out west, like pay to play really isn't a deal out there.
We're gonna do a barbecue. Sacker was gonna do a barbecue. They wanted us to pay for the tickets in advance. I'm going, no, it's a fucking barbecue.
Where was it?
That was down in Lacey.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't.
You guys probably been there before. I can't remember.
Barbecue in Lacey.
Yeah, I can't remember.
That's tough to pin down.
Stacker played there once before, and it was they couldn't get all the bands. A bunch of the bands backed out, so Ferg wound up getting a bunch of other bands together just to help the guy out. But it was this other guy was just like, you got to sell tickets or whatever, or I'll leave the tickets, you leave me the money, and I'm going, what do you mean? No, that's not happening.
No.
Wow.
The bands are doing the work. They're packing their gear, they're taking a trip down to wherever they are. They're playing, they're packing back up, they're driving home, paying gas and tolls. You know what I mean? It's no band should pay to play.
I feel like it's kind of dying out. I mean, I haven't had to pay. I've had one place offer a pay to play thing. I just ignored them. But outside of that, I feel like.
But even like I said, ticket demands are pay to play. You get to Asbury, technically you got the Pony, the House of Independence, all of them. Like you're going to have a minimum, and some of them you got to sign a contract.
But they won't even pay attention to you if you can't pull like 100 people.
Oh yeah. It's like Starland's the same way. You got to. Most shows are a minimum of 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's why it's cool if you can get into like the yacht club. Like that's free and they pay you. So
because land goes.
But but everywhere's got its things.
But again, I think with a situation like the yacht club or places like there's only so many shows and so many slots, and
Yeah.
there's too
And there's a
many
million
bands.
people trying
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, there's two things going on. Sometimes it's just not the shows you want to play, or it's you have to be in with the right crowd, or you're just one of 50 bands that emailed about one particular show.
And now, post COVID, you have a bunch of venues that don't come back. You're going to have even more bands
Exactly.
vying
Yeah.
for those handful of shows.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if the majority of the bands that will just stand up and just not like refuse to do a pay to play, it'll go away. But it's not gonna.
It's never going to happen.
It's never gonna happen because a lot of young bands are like, just want to play the damn show.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they don't
Just
even
wanna-
care.
Yeah, just want to play. We're playing with I don't know whatever El Nino or something. So we want to. I'll buy the damn ticket so we can play the show.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That-
Yeah, I
that's just
remember
it.
us doing that back in
It's
the
just
day.
not- it's not
It was
right.
so annoying.
Yeah,
You
that's the hook. Like if a place says like, "Hey, you can open for," who was I thinking about? Waves. That was a show that was recent, and I was like harassing the place, feeling, "Hey, let my band open for Waves," at the Anchor Rock Club. But yeah, that's definitely a hook where someone will be like, "All right, well, we'll let you open for that band, but you have to sell 50 tickets." I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that band's already selling like 3,000 tickets. Why you need my 50 tickets? No one cares about me. So it's
Yeah.
just another way to get some more money out
And
of it.
we've talked about how it's so demoralizing walking up to somebody handing them like $4,000 or $5,000, and they hand you back like $300-400.
Yeah.
It's freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason I can't play with certain promoters because of that.
Yeah, so that's why I love Michelle.
Versus
Michelle's
you.
great. Like she'll say, "Can you sell me 20 tickets?" And if you show up with like 15 sold, she ain't gonna charge you for those
She's not
last
gonna
5.
tell you
Yeah,
not to, but
She-
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
have
she's
to
not.
take-
She's
She's
wonderful.
she's pretty awesome.
And that's Dingbats?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
at Dingbats
she's
now.
been-
Yeah,
yeah,
she used to be champs out in Trenton.
yeah.
She's been all over the place.
Yeah, promoters too. They just, it's rough, man. They just, I mean, they have a job too, and they need to make money too. I get that stuff, but
Yeah, but we've
I
had
mean-
like experiences with people where it's like it's like they believed in it enough to give you the show, but then they pretend like you don't exist, and it's like, well, we're here and we brought people. Like, I mean, don't ignore us, you know? Like, I mean,
Oh, we're
unfortunately, I don't want to call them out,
You only
but
sold
I mean,
29 tickets. Wow, we were just gonna pay if you sold 30. It's like,
That's what was
why'd you
always-
tell me I would have bought a ticket so I can,
Yeah.
make a couple $100 on it? Like, come on, really? That's why I
Yeah.
try to put my own shows on it where I can, And the Brightons are home, That's Greg was just awesome,
yeah,
and he was fair.
Yep.
Everybody had a
Yeah,
place
we
to go
played
and-
the Brighton, loved it there.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's see. I don't think that's coming back.
I don't think. I
Well,
thought,
it
Supposed
did
to
get-
come back. It's supposed to come back.
Yeah,
They're-
they're keeping the name and everything. They just have to
It's going
start
to be
doing.
a venue, as far as I know. It's going to be a venue. They're swapping everything around, so they just gutted it and they're just revamping the whole thing.
And weren't we told that they're going to start doing different kinds of music to bring more people in?
I guess.
Because
I
apparently
don't know,
that was a
like-
big problem. As cool as it was not making enough money to sustain itself. Because they were having shows all the time, but they weren't always well attended. So even though they were
Well-
supporting local music, when it comes down to it, you still have to make money.
It
to
just
keep
goes
the
back to
venue running.
people don't love music
Yeah,
anymore.
Right,
man.
But now they might have to do like a Latin night or a hip hop night or
Yeah.
something like that just to get people in. Just which
because I heard
could
when
be a
that thing
problem.
first got bought, it was see you later restaurant. Like, and that makes sense.
Well, that
'cause
whole
where it
area of
is.
West End is like that. They
Yeah.
don't like a rock club is like
So that's the first I'm
But there's
actually
some
hearing
more
that. There's,
restaurants on there too. You got
Yeah.
well, how many pizza joints are
In
on
the
the
grand,
road? It
scheme
don't
of
matter.
things, that was the stain
There's
on
a
Long
restaurant
Branch.
right
you know?
next to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
parking
yeah.
lot.
They're trying to make it all
Right.
new and fresh, and the Brighton's all old
Well,
and crusty.
yeah. It's
I don't
like,
know.
oh,
It's
dude.
like everything is, hey, we're going to make a restaurant. Hey, we're going to make a condo. Now we're going to make a condo above a restaurant.
Look at Red Bank. Red Bank used to have some really cool places, and
Yep.
now it's so hoity-toity, and
Yeah. I mean, Red
Yeah.
Tank is cool, the brewery.
Well, my friend Mike just opened a music store in Red Bank. It's called Relic Music. It's a good shout out to Mike. But he wants that he's going to start having shows in his store, like just free shows, just to let local bands play because he knows how hard it is.
well,
'cause
that's
he's a
awesome.
musician.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
when's that happening, Chuck?
We're in there, man. he already enlisted me to do a couple cool promotional things for their shop. I'm going to be painting up some custom pedal guitar pedals. I'm going to be painting some up for him and stuff.
Okay.
And he wants to have art shows. He wants to have like bands play because that's what we need. We need places like that, you know, to just let a couple, like to have 2 bands play. It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, even in Asbury, they're starting to pop up. Like the Ghost Harbor Creative is the one
they
place,
played.
and then there's that other place, the
there.
basement somewhere.
Yeah, Semper Vivum.
Yeah.
I've done 2 there, and we got a 3rd probably next month. I think.
Yeah, but those smaller underground DIY kind of venues are they're starting to surface.
Even the Bond Street basement has shows,
Yeah.
and I mean that I've seen some death metal bands played out there. So it's like
they're my
hopefully-
main. They're my main. Like, please respond to anything I send you. Problem at the moment.
Yeah,
I
again,
think-
they're probably getting so many
Yeah, all the
messages
time,
from
all the
bands,
time.
you know.
You got to know one of the guys, like
Yeah,
friends.
that's how it was at the Asbury
Yeah.
Park Brewery too. We had the same problem. Everybody wanted to play there because it was a really cool little venue. They were getting national
Well,
acts,
Especially
to come
coming
in
out of
there.
COVID, like when we had
Yeah.
Michelle on here and we talked to her, that was in the end of July.
Yeah.
And at that point, she was almost booked out until January, February.
Yeah, it's like opening up the
You know, so yeah,
floodgates.
as soon as COVID broke and everything opened back up, it was just like, boom, everybody hit the ground for it running.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
That
now
just-
it's all overlapping.
yeah. Well, talking about the tickets reminded me of my favorite ticket experience, which was my first band I was in when I was like 16. My little punk band, Unwanted Sect, who everyone said, "Why is your band called Unwanted Sex?" That
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
No, it was a lyric from a song. I was 16. I was very naive. But we played at the Surf Club in Seaside.
Oh, what a great place!
And the thing
place
that
was
night, now this is like reverse tickets. Like these should have been easy to give out. I think it was like $15 to get in. But if you took this like voucher from a band, it was only 10. And then the band would get like a
Yeah,
buck.
because each band had their own color. Because
Yeah.
Carmine
Yeah.
and I did it
That's
plenty of
right,
times.
I
We
remember
made
that.
money.
Remember those days?
So it was.
I missed that.
We'd be out there at teen night giving all the kids a
Yeah,
freaking
so it was
thing,
like
you know?
that's easy, like money, easy promo. It's, hey guys, this is cheaper. I'm making it less for you. But yeah, we didn't really understand that we actually had to like try on those. So when we showed up and had given away like 8, the guy was pretty pissed. And then a bunch of our friends came and we're all dirty punkers and no one could afford the $10 to get in. So we just said they were all in the band and they just sat on the stage with us until at the end when we covered a Misfits song and everybody sang it. So needless to say, Unwanted Sect did not get invited back to the Surf Club.
That's so sad,
that's it.
man.
That's what I got.
Sad
I know.
story.
Killed ahead of our time. And then the hurricane knocked it over, so that was revenge.
That's true. Yeah.
I remember that place. I forgot about that whole color
Joey
ticket
Harris-
thing.
Joey
Yeah,
Harris.
God,
Joey
I can't
Harrison
remember.
from Nortley.
Yeah.
It was the first time we actually made money, and we're like, man, we barely even had to do anything.
This
All we
is
had to do was
awesome.
hand them out to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that place had a built-in crowd. I think
It
that's
did.
probably why
Especially
they
in the
did it
summer.
that way.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
most places probably couldn't. Although, I don't know. I think some places could have probably done something like that. You know.
Yes.
But because if you know that it's a known venue and people are going to come regardless, it's like you just hand them out and then the band gets. 'Cause
Dude,
it's
that
like the
place
same
was
as like writing your name
always-
down.
That
You
was
know?
always packed too.
Yeah,
there was like
always.
hundreds of people in there at any given time.
Well, there was that was the
awesome.
only club in that area, like
Yeah.
Ortley Beach, Seaside, or whatever, that was like that. So I'm sure every kid went there,
Yep.
regardless
Yeah,
of
I
what
mean,
was
like
going on.
I don't hear anything about like a teen night now for like bands and stuff.
No.
Like, there's
No.
nothing.
I don't
Like,
know
you're
of any.
fucked until you're 21. Good luck, guys.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like they're gonna go hang out at the Inkwell. That's the only other thing you can do to like late hours.
Well, there's
if you're
some
not
places that do
21.
teen nights, but it's a DJ.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm not counting that.
Yeah.
I'm counting it for bands.
Oh
so.
yeah, well, you know, they got to go out and listen to Drake, man.
There you go.
Need your Drake fix.
I've been playing for with Frank Tonner for a while, and he at the Moose Lodge, or the Cavern. I've got to witness some really cool bands and gotten friendly with a bunch of bands that he has had on. Brutality is one of them.
Dude, they were great.
Right?
They were
Great.
so great.
I told
Dude,
as
that
soon as they
singer's a
came
rock
off,
star.
as soon as he came off stage, I'm like, you got to promise me one thing, and he's like, what's that? I'm like, don't ever fucking change.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
what you just brought up there, that's the basement. Like
Yeah.
it only goes up from there.
Yeah.
That kid is so awesome.
Oh, they were phenomenal.
He's a great guy. He's a great kid too, man. I mean,
I mean,
it's-
and,
but
dude,
bands like that, it's
and his
like,
parents, dude, they cart these kids all over the freaking place to
Yep,
play
yep.
shows. I'm like, that's it right there.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. That's like the same as like if you were in traveling soccer or something.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
but they're actually,
But they're like running social media stuff for him and promoting their shows online.
Yeah.
And like, we're driving them over. We're going to
Yeah.
Pennsylvania today, New York today, New Jersey tomorrow.
The parents as band managers. A curse and a gift in some ways.
Well, it's nice to have that support, though. you know.
Yeah. Hey, it's better than them not paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, we were
know
lucky.
my-
Our parents supported what we were doing. We would practice at Carmine's house or in my house, or
Shit you guys are playing, but I
yeah,
guess I gotta
yeah,
go.
they always supported us. We were lucky
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
Your dad's a big supporter, Will.
But
Yes.
Yeah.
My
like that, you get to.
Hey, your siblings came to your show.
Oh yeah, well, my siblings giving a shit is a recent development, and they don't even actually like it. They just show up just to show face.
They're out of obligation.
Be supportive. Yeah. I don't twist their arm or anything. They just feel that they have to, I guess. But yeah, my parents couldn't give less of a shit. I literally played a bunch of songs to my mom in the car one day, and she didn't even say anything.
She's probably like, do I tell him this is terrible?
She's just looking at
So you're
Just
saying
looking
you
at
hate it?
No, the best was me and my friend Drew tried to start something up, and we were recording a song just onto a laptop in his bedroom. We had a whole drum kit and everything in there, and his mom lived in Holiday City, so we were recording an EP in the small little bedroom that he wasn't even supposed to be in Holiday City, and at like 2 a.m. while we're all drunk doing this, his mom kicks in the door and goes, "No one would ever like this, ever. You're wasting your time. No one will ever listen to anything you do, so shut the fuck up." And we were dying.
All
We
that
were
time.
crying, laughing on the floor. It was the
good.
funniest thing.
That's good.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys coming out.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
having us.
no, it was
man.
awesome. Thanks for
Thanks,
the
man.
stories. They were
a great
good. They
time.
were all good. All of them were good.
We tried.
We babble. I babble.
Yeah, you
I
babble.
babble. That's what I do.
Yeah, I know.
If you're the singer, you're the holler.
That's my.
You were hooting and hollering.
Thanks, guys, for having us.
Not a problem.
Thank
And all right, tune in 2 weeks for the next episode of the Jersey Shore Musicians Podcast.
Bye.